That was quite the softball question from my friend over there, so I'll try and ask a real one. Keean Bexte with thecountersignal.com. Mr. Trudeau, there has been some speculation that this poorly timed election has been called in part so that you can stop Parliament, the former Parliament, from procuring documents that they're constitutionally allowed to have in regards to the Communist Party of China infiltrating the Winnipeg lab. Keean Bexte here with the Counter Signal outside of the debate hall in Gatineau, Quebec, where the federal leaders are about to show up to debate in the only English debate of this election. That's a bit of a travesty in its own right. There's been several debates in French for a very small minority of the country, but only one in English. Justin Trudeau doesn't want to face off with the other leaders too many times in English, because it seems whenever he goes to debate, people dogpile on him and people learn that nobody likes Justin Trudeau. I'm here right now and you can see behind me a massive PPC rally that has gathered in support of Maxime Bernier, who is not allowed to actually be here to debate, despite him having 11% nationwide in the country, and then in Alberta he's at 19%. It's pretty massive actually, Maxime has actually been massively successful, polling higher than two of these debate participants combined, and it's obviously agitated the crowd here of like 800 people that have come to support Maxime Bernier. You might be able to hear them in the background chanting, "Let Max speak." You could also hear them right now booing Trudeau as he arrives. Now this is someone who is obviously loved by the people, if you can't tell. Listen to this. Now I'm about to head inside to ask some questions that nobody in the mainstream media will ask. Whether I get a question to Trudeau or not, I'm not sure yet. All of the leaders are going to be lined up along with a huge contingent of mainstream media personnel. I'm going to be trying to get a question into Trudeau. I've been accredited after fighting with the Press Leaders Debate Commission here in Ottawa. Luckily, I was happy to be accredited. I was happy they reversed their original decision. So I'm going to head in and I'm going to ask Justin Trudeau some questions after the debate, if I can.
Benno Schwinghammer with the German press agency DPA. Prime Minister, you and others have been facing in the last weeks quite some hate on the campaign trail from a quite small but loud minority. How would you say to deal with these people? Listen to them or ignore them? And do you think this hate is here to stay?
I think one of the things we need to make sure we're doing quite clearly is making a distinction between those people who are showing up as mobs of anti-vaxxers and protesting everything with racist and misogynistic anti-science approaches.
That was quite the softball question from my friend over there, so I'll try and ask a real one. Keean Bexte with thecountersignal.com. Mr. Trudeau, there has been some speculation that this poorly timed election has been called in part so that you can stop Parliament, the former Parliament, from procuring documents that they're constitutionally allowed to have in regards to the Communist Party of China infiltrating the Winnipeg lab that you are in control of, that you're responsible for. So I want to know, is it in Canada's national interest that you're protecting those documents? Is it in China's national interest that you're protecting those documents? Is it in your personal political interest that you're protecting those documents? What are you trying to hide from not just Canadians, but the world?
I think Canadians understand how important it is to protect national security and to ensure that parliamentarians can oversee the work of our national security agencies. That's why, as a commitment we made in 2015, we moved forward with something that Conservatives had always resisted: oversight by parliamentarians over our national security agencies. And the National Security and Intelligence Agency Committee of Parliamentarians actually works, and we granted them full access to all the highly secure documents so as they could see the decisions that our security professionals took and not put at risk the national security of Canada. Parliamentarians need to be able to do their work, which we have enabled, while we protect Canada's national security from China and from others.
Didn't answer the question.
Hey, thanks so much for tuning into the Counter Signal. Please, if you can, go to thecountersignal.com. And if you can pitch in to help with the costs of this trip, it was $1,600 for a last-minute economy flight from Calgary to Ottawa. If you could help me cover those costs, it would go a long way. Just go to thecountersignal.com and sign up for my newsletter while you're there, and then after, if you could, pitch in a little bit so that I can keep coverage like this happening.